All right. Welcome to our podcast. You're here with me, Shinjit Atiwalagun. We know that we live in the world with people from diverse background. Some of them are living in the homeland, but some are not. Today's podcast will be about diaspora and how this concept relate to our life. And here we got our guest อาจารย์แจ่มจำรัดดีพร้อม the head of language and academic services center ศรีนครินทร์วิโรจน์ University Bangkok Thailand. So I believe in Thailand the concept of diaspora is not widely spread. What is diaspora?
Thanks for having me here today. It's kind of excited, but I think it would be nice if we have this kind of program so that we can talk about the content of our program and the concepts of the course that we call as the core course of our program. So let's start with the concepts of diasporas. Actually, this term is kind of technical term of people who studied about the about humanities, people. Basically, when we talked about the term diasporas, it's from Greek words. It's like people dispersed from their original homeland, let's say, to other countries. Actually, when we use the term diasporas, it's related to the very long history. Like back then during Jewish um, movement and the victims of the war back then in the history. But I would say diasporas, we use the concept of diaspora as a part of our core course of our program because other than learning about language and culture, we need to explore the different concepts of different groups of people. And I would say diasporas is the course that represent another field of studies. Actually, I always say that when we learn about diasporas, it's about migrant studies. It's about anthropologies other than language and culture. So we're gonna explore about different groups of people all around the world. It's not just about transnationalism. It's not just about people mobility, but we study about different kind of communities. Even we start with a group of indigenous people, tribe, and then it related to different identity as well. At the end of the day, I decided to use diaspora studies and this course to raise the awareness of inclusive society, let's say. So overall concepts of what is diasporas? It's about human. It's about the effect of globalization and human nowadays. So in our class, we connected different kind of people, the motivation why people move around the world, and then it's related to globalization, as I mentioned, the five states of globalization. Um, People move for better life, of course, and then we will explore the concept behind it, why they move. And after that phenomenon happened, we continue to explore a little bit more about how they adapt themselves to the new environment because people have different reason to move, right? So they might have to experience difficulties, different difficulties. They might need to adjust a lot, different groups of people, they might need to adjust in different way. So some group might say, oh, it's easy to us to adapt ourselves to the new environment because we know what we are going to do, why we move from our original homeland to the new land, the host countries. So it's different. To me, it's kind of fun to explore this kind of concept. So yeah, this is what it means by the term diasporas that we apply for our course, for our program.
Okay. So I think that's very interesting when you mention inclusive concept,
Mm-hmm.
because that the originate of this, maybe this concept links to migrant, immigrant, people who
Right,
move from the country to another. So we
right.
study the concept of diaspora so that we do not discriminate them. I think that's very impressive.
Exactly. So basically, we we need to respect the differences, and this is a key concept, right? Because for us, we love to learn about cultural differences, why people so different, and on top of that, we need to understand and respect the differences among people. And we know that we have like different layers of identity, right? And of course, come across the terms different layers of identity, social identity, individual identity, and then engage it with the concepts of people mobility, people flow. And of course, for those students who really interested to learn more about um, migrant international law, we also include in a part of human mobility as well. So basically, when we learn about different groups of people, the reason why people move, and we know that when people travel around, they carry with them not only the language, they carry with them the culture. Mhm. So we see that kind of differences. And of course, nowadays we are so lucky because lots of people they realize that the concepts of inclusive society, respect each other, respect the differences among people. It's very important, right? So
Right.
this one can be part of yeah the whole concept of intercultural communication and movement. And at the end of the course, because we have only 15 weeks, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the course, I trying to make students realize that you can use the thing that you learned from the class and then apply it in the reality and then use with their own experience or maybe reflect something from their own experience. And last semester was the first time that I added the concept of intercultural management,
Mhm.
and then touch a little bit with the themes of how human resources person
Mhm.
deal with different groups of people
Mhm.
when it once came to multicultural organization. So I came across MBTI, if
Very
you have
interesting.
heard of. Yeah. Because in many countries, especially in Korea, they really focus on people's personal MBTI. So I kind of mix a little bit with the concepts of people mobilities and yeah, and the intercultural management
Okay.
in
Oh,
organization.
all right.
Mhm,
Okay. I think when you talk about diaspora and how you integrate different concepts into the course of
mhm,
diaspora, that's very interesting. And I remember that last semester you assign students to do a project. That's a huge project, right? It is called
Right.
milestone
A
project.
milestone project, right?
Right.
Exactly.
That's one is very I think that's very amazing and impressive for not only students but also teachers too. So
Right.
what do you think students learn from the project apart from the benefits that you just tell me?
Okay, that's good questions. And you know what? We invest our times a lot with the project, and then, as you know, we have heard a lot of good feedback, and of course, student complain sometime, because as you know, even though we try to let them realize that the teamwork or working in a group or in your lifetime you might need to work with other people, but sometimes it's still hard for a student to do that. And working as a team is a part of inclusive society as well, because they need to learn and understand the differences among the group members. That is small unit, right?
Yes.
And I believe that this is the thing that we learn from the feedbacks of the student. And it's not quite clear because we haven't get the full feedback from all students, right?
Mhm.
And at least we complete everything, and we kind of proud of the final result. I can tell from all coaches' feedbacks and
Mhm.
how students react to the presentation. And then you were there once. We present about the project, so you feel it. I believe that. And then I really like the way that student they came up with the concepts of their own project, and
Mhm.
then they try very hard. They put a lot of effort to the project in order to show that this is how we care about the society. This
Mhm.
is how we support other people out there. They can do something good outside classroom. That it's best result that I would say I really proud of. And then I believe that next year, next academic year, the first semester of the next academic year, we might have a lot more of the project that can s- can can make the concepts of inclusive society more um
In our
not
workforce.
yeah, like more entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say. Yeah, yeah. And yeah. So it's kind of nice though. And then other than that, if you remember, last semester was the first time that I integrate field trip
Mhm.
to the learning center of the workforce laborers children, the
Yeah,
child
that
care
one. Mhm.
for Burmese laborers family. Even though it was the first time that we integrate this kind of field trip to the course in order to raise student awareness about differences and and human mobility in real life, I would say they can learn something from the activities. And I believe that I'm going to use this kind of field trip for Diaspora's course
Mm.
again
Mm.
next academic year. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah,
I
I
hope it
think that's
works.
very good. I think that's very good.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Right.
students can see with their own eyes that there are different groups of people,
Mhm.
and for Burmese children, maybe
Mhm.
they got less opportunities than maybe Thai
Mhm.
children.
Right.
Mm.
And you know what? Something that really surprised me a lot student, other than learning about differences, um, the terms that we learn in our course, that is one thing that we learn, education for all. We learn that kind of concept, and student feel like Ajan is not that equal. Education is not for all, but we still try our best to help each other to achieve that goal. And of course, it integrates with SDGs as well. And other than that, the most interesting part that our student got from the field trip is about language and
Yeah.
culture. Yeah,
Mm.
because you imagine that in that child care, a lot of Burmese children, they're just like small kids,
Mm.
and then they were born and raised in Burmese family, and of course, when they go into school, they cannot speak Thai.
Mm.
So teachers over there need to speak at least three languages.
Mm-hmm.
Burmese, Thai, and even English.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So students have learned a lot that only small child care, small kids, they speak like Burmese, right, as a
Mm-hmm.
native language, and then they need to learn Thai, and of course, at the same time, they need to learn English as
English.
well in order to communicate like basic English and
Mm-hmm.
basic Thai. So it's kind of other than learning about diasporas, we learn that in realities, language, culture, and migrant.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of concept, they are integrated. We cannot differentiate these three. So it's kind of fun.
Right.
So
I think
yeah.
it is fun, and it
Mhm.
is, once again, I use these words, amazing project, the
Right,
amazing field
right.
trip. And I
Mm-hmm.
learned from your story that language is very important
Right.
for everybody, so that maybe students, not only our students, but other people need to learn that
Mm-hmm.
they need to use not only just Thai, maybe
Mm-hmm.
they need to be aware of using other languages too. Maybe in this program that we promote third language. Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. I always mention that from now on, after our student graduate from our program, I'm sure that they are qualified. Very, they all qualifying for many jobs out there, because at least our student, they have a very good English speaking skills, presentation skills, of course. They can speak Thai, of course. All Thai student,
Yeah.
right? And yes, they can communicate very well in English, and of course they speak third or maybe fourth languages.
Right.
So yeah, that would be nice, and another kind of opportunities for all of our students in our program to compete with other people in the labor market, let's say.
Yeah, right.
And of course, lots of our course for our LAC program, they learn a lot about soft skills, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not like skills, like hard skills. It's not a doctor, it's not an engineer or other kind of job, but I believe that they learn a lot about soft skills, 21st century skills, let's
Yes.
say. Yeah, so yeah, we achieve our goal as a teacher, and I believe that student can achieve that as well at the end of the program.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
And so let's move on a bit, because I,
Sure.
based on the diaspora, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe that it is an important concept that make the world a better place, you see.
Right, exactly. Heal the world.
Right, heal the world. So if you are going to suggest people who are interested in studying about diaspora, what will you suggest?
I would suggest, actually, let's say this course is for all. For those who really want to explore a lot more about anthropology, about the motivation why people mobilize nowadays, and learn about adaptability, how people adapt to the new environment. And then if you explore like out there in a big city like Bangkok, if you want to learn more about expats, you want to learn more about minority groups, diasporic community, diasporic media, you're welcome to learn all about diasporas, all about this course offered all kind of details. And I think it can be applied easily in reality and in your daily life.
All right. Okay. อาจารย์แจ่มจำรัดดีพร้อม I'm very grateful that you here with us. And we see
Thank
that,
you.
yeah, and we see that diaspora is not only significant for our students, but for all individuals living in the world with us today. And thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. One more thing.
Yes,
I'm
please.
not going to like romanticize all of the concepts, but yeah, it's the thing that we need to raise the awareness, right?
Yeah.
About the inclusive society. And thank you very much for having me here. I think this time is just our first time, so it's going to be quite academic. Maybe next time we can make it more fun, more entertaining.
Right.
How we can talk, or even we can talk about like movies,
Yes, of
series,
course.
that
Right.
related to our program.
All
Thank
right.
you very much, Ajahn Shinzip, for
Okay.
having me here today. Thank
All
you.
right, everyone. And this is the end of this episode. Hope to see you in the upcoming episode. And bye for now.